Hello, and welcome back to the loading screen of our Yakuza 4 Remastered playthrough. There is a reason for this. Stay with me. In our last episode, Lily managed to get her $3 million together from her 3 days' work at our little hostess club. So she got her 100 million yen. Good for her. Also turns out she's been the one who's been knocking off all of these people around town in a rather brutal fashion, leaving them in their knickers to be found. Aside from that, we started Yakuza 4 Remastered's version of Cabaret Club Czar. Yeah. It's an interesting one. I'll go more into that in the My Thoughts episode at the end. And we learnt just after Lily got her $100 million and split that Majima is after her as well, though we don't quite know why. So, let's see if we can find out why as we change from Akiyama's story to a new story. See you at the end of this cutscene.
Oh, 兄弟。おう。
あ、真島さん、いらっしゃい。
お邪魔すんで。いやー、それにしても暑いな。まだ4月やっちゅうのになんやねんな、この暑さは。なんや30度もあるらしいわ。ほんまこの国がぶっ壊れとんのとちゃうが。この国っちゅうよりもこの世界やろ。これがいわゆる環境破壊っちやっちゃ。お、自分ちょっと頭良さそうやん。当たり前や。オゾンがどうこう言うてたわ。誰がや。うちの親父が。はっ、島の藩が。なんや世の中の流行は環境問題らしいで。これからうちらの業界も環境に気ぃ使わんといかんらしい。はあ、アホらしい。おれ。
うわ、スイカや。
せや。こないに暑い日にはちょうどええ思ってな。
へえ、春先でもこないに立派なの売ってるもんなんやね。
ま、ちょっと高かったけど。せやけどしばらくの間こないなもん食えんようになるやろし。前祝いみたいなもんや。
前祝い？
おう、やすこ。せっかく兄弟が来てんねや。ちょっとビールでも買うてこいや。
はいはい。行ってきます。あ、なんかつまみもいる？
おう、頼むわ。
わかった。
なんや、やすこちゃん知らんのか。当たり前や。明日人殺しに行きますなんて言えるわけないやろ。他にも言い方あるやろ。俺ら二人明日から長いお勤めや。最後の別れくらいちゃんとしとった方がええで。いらん、そんなもん。縁起でもない。はい。それより例のあれ持ってきたんやろな。ああ。まがいもんは一切なし。堂島組経由で仕入れた正真正銘の本物や。 拳銃は全部で6丁。1丁につき6発撃てるとして36発は発射できる。
36発か。
相手は上野義治とその場にいる清和会の連中全員。
何人くらいになりそうや。
10人弱ってとこやろな。
せやったら一人頭に3、4発使えるっちゅうことやな。十分な数や。
なあ兄弟。
あ？
逃げ出すなら今のうちだ。2対10、奇襲とはいえ圧倒的に不利な戦いだ。それにたとえ成功したとしても短くて10年。下手すりゃ無期懲、いや死刑だってあり得る。俺は天涯孤独の身だ。島野の親父を親父と呼ぶようになってから覚悟はできてる。でもお前には安子ちゃんがいる。冴島、お前本当に安子ちゃんを残したままでいいのか？
兄弟、関西弁忘れとるで。
あ？お前、人が真剣に喋ってる時に。
俺は覚悟できとるよ。俺もお前と同じや。笹井の親父のためやったら何でもやる。それに試してみたいんや。冴島大河っちゅう男がこの登場界でどこまで登れるのかをな。
冴島、
何しとるんじゃ兄弟。くっそ。あ、俺や。笹井組の冴島や。今真島と待ち合わせの時間なんやけど、あいつ来えへんね。ああ、そうや。ちょっとそっちで。来よった。ああ、もうええ。切るで。なんや。10人以上おるやないか。
けが来るな頼む親父だけはこの人だけは守らなきゃならないんだ
これも親父が天下取るため上野さん堪忍や
助けて
6:05 p.m., April the 21st, 1985, a few hours after the attack, Tiger Saejima of the Tojo clan's Sasai family is arrested for murder after surrendering to the Kamurocho police. Police suspect the attack to be part of the feud between the powerful Tojo clan and its adversary, the Ueno Seiwa clan. Executive involvement of both clans is investigated as police begin interrogation of Saejima. However, Saejima maintains his silence throughout the interrogation. Unable to establish a direct link to the Tojo clan, police conclude that the incident was a one-man job. Saejima is sent to the prosecutor's office. A few months later, 20-year-old Tyger Saejima was given the death penalty for the murder of 18 members of the Ueno Seiwa clan and is immediately transferred to the Tokyo Penitentiary. Decades later, on March 1st, 2010, after 25 years of awaiting his execution, Tiger Saejima is suddenly issued a transfer order.
Oriro. 冴島大河だな。本日現時刻をもってお前を東京刑務所から沖縄第二刑務所へと移送する。
今日からここがお前の棒だ。入れ。
手錠出せ。
食事は17時。それ以外の細かな規則に関しては渡した書類に書いてある。ここは普通の刑務所とはわけが違う。死刑が執行されるまで少しでも長く生きたいなら、せいぜい目立たないようにするんだな。
Inmate says, what the? Aren't you Tyger Saejima? Different inmate says, First inmate says, it really is you, isn't it? Saejima has nothing to say to this. First inmate says, holy shit, Saejima, the stone cold hitman. You're a friggin' legend. Ain't that right, fellas? Saejima says, I'm not a hitman. First inmate says, say what? Saejima says, I said, I ain't no hitman. First inmate says, guys, what's going on here?
あんた、本当に冴島なのか？本当にあの冴島大河なのかって聞いてんだよ。
せやったらなんやねん。
神様ってやつは本当にいるんだな。どうやら俺らにも運が回ってきたみてえだ。俺らが誰か分かってるよな。上野清和だよ。あんたに25年前殺された上野清和会の若衆の子分だよ。あんたに親取られてから20数年、この日が来るのをずっと待ってたぜ。
親取られた返しっちゅうわけか。
そんな簡単なもんじゃねえ。俺らの人生をめちゃくちゃにしてくれたあんたへの復讐だ。あんたに死刑は必要ねえ。きっちり俺らの手でぶっ殺してやるぜ。
お前の人生がめちゃくちゃになったんは親が死んだせいちゃうやろが。我も極道の端くれやったらな、人生のケツくらい自分で吹け。
やってるか。
さっきの勢いはどうした？あ？なんだその目は。まだ殴られたのか？
斉藤。おい、斉藤。斉藤。終わりだ。
この野郎。くそ。なんなんだこいつは。
今日は執行日じゃないだろう。ここまでだ。
どうしてだ？別にいいだろうが。こんなクズ一人殺したところで。
先月もそうやって2人殺しただろう。ちょっとやりすぎだ。
命拾いしたな。
お前にお客さんだ。己は高くつくぞ。
外のやつに指示してあんたの口座に1本振り込ませておく。それでいいだろう。
ちょうど車検でな、新しいのに買い替えようと思ってたんだ。助かるよ。あんまり長居すんなよ。じゃ。
The inmate with the birthmark on his face from before says, "You okay? That arsehole whipped you good." Saejima has nothing to say, then says, "Who's asking?" Prisoner with the facial birthmark says, "Name's Hamazaki. Torture clan, same as you. I was one of the big boys till I wound up here last year. Had my own family and everything." Saejima says, "That's so." Hamazaki says, "Didn't think I'd meet a living legend in this hellhole. 18 kills in one go is a hard feat to forget." Saejima asks, What's your game?" Hamazaki says, "Not sure what you mean." Saejima says, "The guards ain't going to be too thrilled about this. Outside of the one you just paid off, I mean. And this place has got more than its share of psychos. Can't imagine they'd be happy knowing you came by to see me." Hamazaki laughs. "You don't know a goddamn thing about where you are, do you? This is no ordinary prison, friend." Saejima asks, "How's that?" Hamazaki says, "Let me ask you a question. You know what this place is called?" Saejima replies, "Yeah, Okinawa Penitentiary number 2. Hamazaki says, "Good. The thing about that is, though, no penitentiary by that name officially exists. Not in Okinawa, not in Japan, not anywhere." Saejima says, "Yeah, sure, like I'm falling for that." Hamazaki says, "It's the truth. You look on the map and all you'll see is some nameless correctional facility. Nothing out of the ordinary. When in fact it's a privately funded high-security prison built under government contract." Saejima asks, "And nobody raises an eyebrow or nothing?"
そうだ。
Hamazaki asks, why would they? On paper, this place is just like any other correctional facility. An easy humanitarian way of dealing with the rising prison population. But the truth lurking under the surface is damn sinister. The only reason it exists is to make Yakuza like us disappear, no questions asked. Saejima asks, what do you mean, disappear? Hamazaki replies, pretty sure you can guess. That corrections officer who was laying into you's buried a few guys just in the last month or so. Takes them in here and beats them to death. Saejima says, in this room, huh? Hamazaki says, yep. Not a pretty sight once he's done, I'll tell you that. Worst part is, they don't even own up to it. The official cause of death always ends up as illness or some other random bullshit. Remember, this place was built for the worst of the worst. You die in here, not a damn soul's gonna bother asking why. Saejima says, that's goddamn insane. Hamazaki says, but it's the truth. Good news is it goes both ways. Most of the guards in here are more than corrupt enough to take a bribe or two. Makes life a little easier for me, at least. Saejima asks, so what's all this got to do with me? You dropped a mill to get to me. Well, here I am. Spit it out already. Hamazaki replies, I need your help with something.
例のブツだ。監視の目を盗んで、その手のプロだった囚人にコピーさせた。これでお前は棒を抜け出せるはずだ。
まだ俺はやるとは言うてへん。
やるさ。あんたはやる。やるに決まってるさ。
どういうことや。上の清和会が生き残っとるやと。
ああ、そうだ。上野清和は今も都内の島で活動している。組織を拡大してな。
お前、俺がシャバのこと何も知らん思てでたらめ言うとるんだちゃうんかい。
嘘じゃねえ。それに上野は今じゃ登場会の親戚だ。あの事件の後、登場会は上野と五分の逆圧交わしたんだよ。
どういうことじゃ。
あんたは上野義治を取り損ねた。だが実質上、あの事件の後の上野清和会は虫の息だった。しかし、上野清和会は潰れなかった。
なんでや。
それはな、あんたの親父さんのせいなんだよ。
親父の？
あの25年前の事件の直後、笹井のおじきは事件の責任を取って急遽引退してしまった。もしあん時あんたの親父さんが引退してなければ、笹井組は直系の組として昇格してただろ
う。なんで親父は。
さあな。笹井が消えちまった今となっては真相は分からん。だが笹井のおじきの引退により組は解散。そして昇格したのは
他でもないあの柴田組だ。
柴田組。
そう、笹井組と直系昇格を争ってたあの柴田組だ。結局25年前のあの抗争事件は笹井のおじきとあんたから全てを奪い去っちまっただけの出来事だったんだよ。あんたの気持ちはよくわかるぜ、冴島さんよ。さぞかし無念だろうよ。あんたは極道としての義理を貫き通した。失敗だったとはいえ、たった一人で敵対する組織の幹部衆を18人もぶっ殺した。あんたは登場界の伝説なんだぜ、冴島さんよ。でもな、25年前のあの事件、実は裏でもっと面白い話があったんだよ。あの日、あんたはもう一人の兄弟分と一緒に上野を襲うはずだった。でも奴は来なかった。そうだろ？実はあれはな、最初から計画されていたことだったんだよ。
Saki says, so, the reality of it all soak in yet? Saejima has nothing to say. Hamazaki says, look, I get it. Shit stings, knowing your brother went and stabbed you in the back. Saejima still has nothing to say. Hamazaki says, now that you know the truth, I don't imagine you'll be happy just sitting in here nice and quiet till it's your day to hang. That snake in the grass Majima's been living the high life, throwing his weight around Kamurocho like he's the king of the damn world. While you're rotting away in this hellhole, stuck shoving down some of the worst slop known to man just to survive. If that's not the textbook definition of fucked over, I don't know what is. Saejima again has nothing to say. Hamazaki says, the way I see it, you've only got one shot at settling the score, but you're never going to do that if you don't get out of here. We'll make her escape tonight at 1 o'clock while everyone's sound asleep. I'll get out of my cell using one of the 2 keys I had made. You do the same with the other. I'll wait by the entrance until you're out. Next step is all you. Once you're ready, throw your bed down over the rail to distract the guards. They'll be on your ass in an instant, so just keep them busy while I slip behind and head for the warden's office. We'll meet there once you're done dealing with the guards. Saejima asks, at the warden's office, why there? Hamazaki says, there's something there I'm going to need once we're out on the outside. But don't worry about that. Saejima says, right. Hamazaki says, after we reconvene, we book it across the yard over to the far wall, the one with the guard tower. Once we make our way up with a grappling hook, we'll be home free. Saejima asks, a grappling hook? How the hell did you get hold of something like that? Hamazaki says, I haven't. Not yet. Saejima asks, what? Hamasaki says, that's where you come in. Saejima says, keep talking. Hamasaki says, your job's to find something we can use as a rope, and some kind of hook to go with it. Saejima asks, yeah? And how are you expecting me to do that? Hamasaki says, we get all kinds of interesting folks in here, and those interesting folks smuggle in all sorts of interesting stuff. Weapons, food, you name it. Saejima asks, so what, you want me to barter? Hamasaki says, more or less. There's one guy in particular who'll really get things moving. Take a look. The poor bastard had a booming business down here in Okinawa. Caught up in a Yakuza shitstorm though. Ended up busted for illegal arms manufacturing. Lucky for us, his skills got him in good with the guards. They even let him set up a little workshop in here. Long as he's got the materials, he can make damn near anything. All you gotta do is get him what he needs. Anyway, let me know once you've got that grappling hook. Better hurry though, daylight's fading fast. Get ready for the jailbreak. And yes, that is why we started at the loading screen. Because it would have been nearly 40 minutes before we got a chance to just talk. So, welcome to Saejima. Here's part of the story. Haga asks, you see that guy in the corner? He's a bit short, isn't he? Saejima asks, what about him? Haga says, keep your guard up around him. Word is, he's real jumpy. Saejima asks, why, someone after him? Haga says, the whole damn prison's after him. After all of us. It's no wonder he started hoarding up body armor like there was no tomorrow. It's nice at least feeling safe, you know. But all it's done is paint a big old target on his back. Drawing attention's the best way to speed up your execution date. Better to keep a low profile. Hungry inmate asks, what do you think's on the menu tonight? I've been craving yakiniku ever since I got tossed in here. What I wouldn't do for some nice juicy meat. Famished prisoner says, the least they could do is feed us some Okinawa delicacies. Stewed pork, rough tea. Hell, I'd even eat bitter melon before the cardboard they serve us. Hungry inmate says, hey, if you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? Famished prisoner asks, only one? Gotta be pork cutlet curry. Hungry inmate says, oh yeah. Shit, that sounds good right now. Famished prisoner says, a nice thick cut of succulent pork, a mountain of steaming rice all drowned in a rich, kind of sweet curry. Ugh, we gotta get out of here. Not to rub salt into the wound, but did you know pork goes best with sweeter curries? A hint of sweet cuts through that rich pork like nothing else, man. I love stirring the rice and curry together, scarfing down a big spoonful, then taking a quick bite of the pork so they all mix in my mouth. Hiss the messes off to high heaven. Hungry inmate says, God damn, just hearing you talk about it's making my mouth water. Nothing to do now but reminisce about my dine and dash days. Yakuza inmate says, once they lock you up in here, there's no getting out. Murder inmate says, I don't know. I heard stories of guys getting real tight with some of the guards, then getting out on good behaviour. Yakuza inmate says, sounds like a load of shit to me. Guards probably spread the idea so people will come kiss their asses. Me? I don't buy it. Murderer inmate says, better to kiss ass and not get anything from it than to rot in here without even trying. Or worse, get shivved in your sleep. Well... Oh, there was a dude over there. Oh well, let's rough this bloke up. Hayashida says, how'd you get that awesome chain, Kataoka-san? I'm jealous as all hell, man. Kataoka says, remember when I was doing construction on the new cell block? I nicked it from there, no problem. Hayashida says, shit, I gotta get me one of those construction jobs. I could use myself a nice new weapon. Saejima says, chain, huh? Looks like I found my man. He says it to himself. Obviously. Cigarette-starved prisoner asks, hey, you got a smoke? Saejima asks, in here? You out of your damn mind? Cigarette-starved prisoner replies, guess you knew in this neck of the woods. A cigarette is the best way to make friends in here. If you don't have them, well, watch your back. Saejima says, Tabase says, first day in here and you end up in the biggest fight I've ever seen in years. You really showed those guys what's what. Saejima has nothing to say. Tabase says, guess you got wars coming for you after all that, though. In case you couldn't tell, this isn't your run-of-the-mill prison. But hey, it's not all bad behind bars. The real trick is appreciating the small stuff whenever you can. Like, see that guy smoking over there? How do you think you got that cig? As long as the guards don't have it out for you, the place can be kind of cozy. Point is, keep your nose clean if you want to survive. You might even get some special treatment along the way. Saejima thinks to himself, mugwort. Looks edible. Take the mugwort. Yeah, why not? We got mugwort. Yay! No idea what we're going to use it for in here, but anyway. Jailhouse Snitch asks, so what are you in for? Saejima asks, who, me? Jailhouse Snitch asks, you see anyone else around? Of course you. Must have done something big to end up in here. What was it? Arson? Assault? Grand Theft Auto? Saejima says, I don't gotta tell you a damn thing. Now back off or I make you back off. Jailhouse Snitch says, pretty sure I just pissed myself a little. I mean, the way your coat just goes forward like that, I don't want to know, really. Prison guard says, come on, slip me a couple of million and I'll make it worth your while. Yakuza inmate says, give me a break, man. You've been hitting me up for cash every month since I got tossed in this dump. I ain't made of money. Prison guard asks, what's the big deal? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Yakuza inmate says, yeah, but you scratching my back's gonna end up bleeding me dry. Fine. I'll get one of my pals on the outside to wire it over tomorrow. Prison guard says, pleasure doing business. Don't worry, I'll make sure you're taken care of real good. Good for you. Ex-Tojo Yakuza. He says, watch out, Saejima-san. Hamazaki's taking you for the ride of the century. Saejima asks, what do you mean? Ex-Tojo Yakuza says, I used to be in the dojo just like you. And let me tell you, nothing good's gonna come from trusting that dirty two-timer. Did you know he and the Snake Flower Triad tried taking over the dojo? Needless to say, more than a few guys in here would love nothing more than to stick a knife in his belly. Saejima says, You got beef with Hamazaki? Take it up with him. Don't got nothing to do with me. Ex-Tojo Yakuza says, not sure that's true. Let me guess, he said he's going to help you break out? Sorry, pal, but he's going to sell you out first chance he gets. You'll see. Saejima has nothing to say. Ex-Tojo Yakuza says, look, I'm just trying to warn you. Back out now before shit really hits the fan. I am sort of getting that feeling from him. Saejima asks, hey, got a sec? Kamiyama replies, oh, sure. You're the one they hauled in yesterday, right? Saejima says, yep. Heard you're good with your hands. Kamiyama says, that's right, sir. I made a name for myself on these islands as well. Let's just say I'm a craftsman of sorts. Or at least I was until I got thrown in here. Saejima asks, what's a regular old citizen doing getting dumped in one of the highest security prisons in the country? Kamiyama says, I suppose I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was minding my own business, doing business with some fine gentlemen who turned out to be Yakuza. When the police showed up for them, they took me into... Once they started looking into my livelihood, though, I figured out I was involved in some less than legal activities. Saejima says, folks in my line of work call those crimes. What kind are we talking? Kamiyama says, well, I made, modded, bought and sold all kinds of deadly weapons. Saejima says, oh. Kamiyama says, I never hurt a soul though. No siree. Not directly anyway. Not to mention the fact I got forced into the business to start with. Saejima says, you don't say. Well, whatever your story, I've got a favour to ask. Gonna need you to make a grappling hook for me. Think you can manage that? Kamiyama replies, anything's possible as long as I have the materials. May I ask why? Saejima replies, you can ask, but I ain't telling. You'll be better off not knowing anyhow. Kamiyama says, all right then. Do you need it to be especially sturdy? Saejima replies, sturdy enough to hold a person or two. Kamiyama says, I see. Well, all right. No more questions from me then. Just bring me a nice thick chain and that grappling hook should be a cinch. Fortunately for you, I saw one of the inmates swinging one around the other day. Saejima says, oh yeah? Kamiyama replies, just trying to keep things civil, okay? The guards would be on you in a flash if you started trouble. Saejima says, right, thanks. Well, we already know this bloke up here is the one with the chain. Yamada says, well, if it isn't the new guy, how are you finding life on the inside? Saejima has nothing to say. Yamada asks, what? Nothing? Look, man, you're not going to last long here if you don't start playing nice. Just remember who you're dealing with now. This prison's full of the worst society's got to offer, and not everyone's going to take kindly to your bullshit. Very well. May I choke you out with your chain and then take it for my own sinister needs, sir? Saejima says, you there, I heard you got yourself a chain. Kataoka asks, what's it to you? Saejima asks, mind letting me borrow it? Kataoka laughs, we got ourselves a choker here, boys. Weapons are the only thing that keep you alive in this hellhole. Not a chance I'm letting mine out to the first little shit that comes strolling up to me. Saejima says, sorry, but I need that chain real bad. If you ain't gonna lend it to me, I'm just gonna have to take it by force. It appears to be on. Saejima says to himself, better get this done before the guards come. Yes, we can upgrade abilities. So, take Essence of Finishing. And Essence of Might. Essence of Finishing is a ruthless attack executed on a downed enemy, triangle near a downed enemy, and Essence of Might is a big move unleashed with incredible strength. Grab an enemy when health is flashing. Okay, that swung on. Got him, yes! Gato says, shit, here, just take it. We borrowed a chain. Saejima says, sorry again, nothing personal. Kataoka says, yeah, whatever. Look, I don't really care what you do with it, but you better give it back to me when you're done. Saejima says, I'll see what I can do. And yeah, that's the problem with anchoring someone's line of sight to someone who bobs up and down. Your head just nods all the time. And they run away. Excuse me. That is incredibly neat chalk writing, is all I can say. Saejima says, hey, got the chain. Kamiyama asks, already? Well, you're good. This should work quite nicely. It's, pretty heavy, though. You sure that's okay? Saejima says, not going to be a problem. Kamiyama says, if you say so. Now for the hook part of this whole arrangement. You wouldn't happen to have a pitchfork, would you? Saejima says, no. Kamiyama says, oh, I've got it. One of the guys they put on farm duty might have something you can use. I mean, you can't farm without equipment. I think I can get by with a pitchfork or maybe even a hoe. Saejima says, says to himself, didn't think I'd be scrounging up farm tools for this. Well, we'd better, no, I don't want to talk to you. Hamazaki says, let me know when you've got rope and a grappling hook. You're the one who wants the fags, cigarettes. Sorry. It's an Australian word. Cohen asks, need something, tough guy? If you're looking for trouble, take a look somewhere else. Saejima says, no, I don't need nothing. Kawana says, then step your beefy ass back. We don't want anything to do with you. Alright. Well, you keep doing that. I think we haven't talked to these blokes, have we? No, it's the Yakuza and murder inmates. They're the ones about eating. He thinks we fight well. Prison guard asks, what do you want, inmate? Saejima says, just a drink of water. Mind letting me through? Prison guard says, fine, but make it quick. And you're not at all concerned that I'm just running up and down here. Alright. Prison guard asks, do you want to go back into the yard? Saejima says, yeah, you mind? Prison guard replies, suit yourself. So back we go. Could we not just twist two of these together and call it a... Apparently not. Oh no, it's the snitch. Eat that bloke. No, it's... He still wants his fags. Cigarettes. And sure about the big fight. Morinaga says, you're like a friggin' Mack truck, Kawana-san. How's a fella get that ripped? Kawana says, I'm telling you, man, it's all the work they've got me doing out in the field. Morinaga says, shit, I gotta get me on farm duty. Kawana says, fat chance. You know how much I had to shell out for that privilege? Not gonna happen unless you're ready to lay down some serious cash. Saejima says to himself, looks like I found my farmer. Yeah, fork it over, dude. Saejima says, I hear you work the farm here. Kawana says, yeah, they let me run the roost over a little patch, seeing as I'm always on such good behaviour. What's it to you? Saejima says, got a question for you. You use a pitchfork or a hoe over there? Kawana says, sure do. Big ol' hoe. Use it to turn the soil. Big old hoe. Saejima asks, mind if I borrow it from you? Won't be long. Kawana says, nah, man. The guards will lose their shit if one of the tools goes missing. Besides, it's not like I keep them on me all day. Saejima says, please, I need it real bad. I need a fix, man. Kawana says, and you promise it won't be long? Saejima replies, of course. Kawana says, fine then. Bring me a smoke and I'll think about it. Saejima asks, where's a guy supposed to score a cigarette in here? Kawana says, not the commissary, that's for sure. Most guys I know get them smuggled in from the outside. Anyway, get on it. I'll have that hoe ready by the time you scare up that smoke. Saejima says to himself, I guess I don't got a choice here. Alright, so this bloke smoking his fag cigarette over here. Saejima says, you there? Think I can bum a smoke off you? Ozaki asks, who's asking? Wait, aren't you the new guy? You just put that lit cigarette back in the box. Okay. That's a thing that happened. Anyway, Saejima says, that's me. Ozaki says, you didn't waste any time making friends back in the cafeteria. I was there. Near lost my appetite seeing the smackdown you gave those guys. Shit was vile, man. Saejima says, right. Masaki says, damn if it wasn't entertaining though. A shame it landed you in the hole, but hey, all good things come at a cost. Here, you deserve this after the show you put on. We got a cigarette. Go us. Ozaki says, you've probably realised by now, but cigarettes are practically like gold in here. You want to loosen someone's lips, all you got to do is pop a smoke between them. Anyway, be seeing you. Okay. Wild West Tex. Saejima says, here's your cigarette, man. Kawana says, yeah? And how am I supposed to light it? Kawana says, no deal till you bring me a lighter. Saejima says to himself, great. Look, dude, how about we try an experiment? You put it between your lips, and I see if I can punch it hard enough to light it. What do you think? No? That's a shame. Who's likely to have a lighter around here? Probably not the hungry ones. Not the murderer, I would say. Perhaps the bloke who had the first cigarettes to begin with? Who wants the cigarettes to begin with? Oh no, you're still just doing... Yep, that thing. Alright. Yep, you're just going on about Hamazaki being... sharpening a dagger for my back. Well, could be the cops, could be the snitch. Yep, okay, fine. Yeah, you and your yakiniku, gotta be pork curry. Maybe it is the snitch. Nope, it's not the snitch. By process of elimination, that should leave you. Nope. Yeah. Let me know when you've got the grappling hook and... blah, blah, blah. Was that shiny thing over there before? We just want to drink a water. Do you mind letting us through, sir? Prison guard says fine, but make it quick. Yep, no worries. Just got to look at that shiny thing that I didn't think was there before, but is now. Oh, we found a lighter. Go us. I don't know why we couldn't see it last time, but hey. Prison guard asks, you want to go back to the yard? Saejima says, yeah, you mind. Prison guard says, suit yourself, and tosses us back in. Yay! Now we can light this cigarette. Saejima says, here you go, got your cigarette and lighter right here. Kawana says, about time. We handed over the cigarette, and we handed over the lighter. Saejima says, now let's have that hoe. Kawana says, slow down there, big guy. I never said I was going to give it to you. Just that I'd think about it. Saejima says, then think harder. Or do I got to rattle your brains a bit? Kawana asks, are you seriously threatening me? Me? Man, you're just as dumb as you look. Saejima says, keep running your mouth if you want. It's like there's only one way we're settling this. Saejima says to himself, better get this done before the guards come. Oh, yep, that'll probably take some explaining. Kawana says, I give, just take the damn hoe and go. Saejima says, appreciate it. Could have saved yourself a world of trouble if you just gave it to me in the first place. We borrowed a hoe. You know what, I bet we can make use of this hoe and make some money with it before we give it over for the grappling. Anyway, Saejima says to himself, perfect. Now Kamiyama can make me that grappling hook. You sure we don't want to make some money hiring the hoe out before? No? Okay. Saejima says, got everything you asked for. Now can you fix me up that grappling hook? We handed over the chain and the hoe. Kamiyama says, wow, I'm amazed you actually scrounged up all the materials in here. This should be perfect, yes. Pardon me a moment while I step into my workshop. And no one's going to notice this at all. Especially not the two guards and two guards on the gate and the one standing right there next to us. Anyway, Kamiyama says, sorry to keep you waiting. One grappling hook, just as ordered. We got the chain and grappling hook. Go us. Kamiyama says, I don't know what you're planning, and I'd prefer to keep it that way, but please don't tell anyone where you got this. Saejima says, don't worry, I ain't no snitch. Well, snitches do get stitches. Kamiyama says, great. Seeing how you seem to do things, I bet whatever you're planning is big. You don't know how big. I can't wait to find you what it is. I can't wait to find out what it is. Anyway, good luck. Yeah, you just wait there, my lovely friend. Hamazaki says, nice job getting that grappling hook. Now go hide it under the manhole near the guard tower. We'll grab it again once the plan's in motion. Do you want to do any of this stuff, sir? We hid the chain and grappling hook, and no one thought it was suspicious at all. Okay. Saejima says, thinks to himself, think we're good to go. Here goes nothing.
どうしたんだ。何の音だ。くそ、何が起きてんだ。
どうしたんだ。
見えね
え。なんだこの作業。何事だ。何をやってるか。あいつは冴島。これはどういうことだ冴島。お前どうやって棒から出たんだ。脱獄するつもりか。こんなことしてどうなるか分かってんだろうな。おい、
うわおい、俺も出してくれ。
お前には懲罰棒も生ぬるい。今すぐここでぶっ殺してやる。文句はねえよな。いいな、手加減はなしだ。奴を絶対この部屋から出すな。やれ。
I mean, I probably would have swallowed the key just in case this didn't work so I could try again next time. But, anyway. Saejima says to himself, Hamazaki just said to keep the guards busy, but it's easier to just flatten them all instead. At least I'll get the key quicker that way. Ooh, look at that, he did lose a tooth. Saito says, damn it. Saejima says, sorry, but I've got to borrow your key. We got the section key. And it's funny just seeing all the inmates in the background just doing the cheer like they're in the background of a Street Fighter level, arena, whatever you want to call it. Saito says, hey, go on, Saejima. Try and escape. We'll see how far you get. Saejima has nothing to say to this. Saito says, you're not the first who's tried to fly the coop, but guess what? Not a single soul has made it out. Know why that is? Because I clipped their wings the moment they were dumb enough to try. But go ahead, let's see how far you get. You're still nowhere close. Well, I got that impression. Now we need to head to the director's office. Oh! Come on, Watanabe. Oh, you. Disciplinary wooden katana. Yes, let's discipline the guards. That's a very strange way to run, sir. I'd suggest you go see doctor. No, my disciplinary wouldn't get... Oh, it stayed with me. That's good. That was very close. Look, can you people stop nicking Reno's stick? It costs him a lot, you know? To replace it. It's probably got Elena's signature on it, or kissed by her or something. Right, yes, we can. Let's get Essence of Mounting, possibly because we're close to being in that situation. Let's grab Stability as well. The first level in the Art of Balance makes it difficult to be knocked down in heat mode, and yes, I forgot to read out the Essence of Mounting. Essence of Mounting is an intense punching combo that can be executed when you are injured. Triangle near downed enemy when health is flashing. Okay. Yeah, not so fun, is it? Naito seems a little bit overpowered. Shall we say? Bit of a backhand. Just a little bit overboard. Just how many times do you have to hit that X to break out of it? For the love of it. Well, we got Saito's keycard. Did manage to get this fight eventually. Not by much, but we did. Yes. We got the essence of mounting, didn't we? And we got stability. I'll take down grab. Enhanced evasion. Yeah, we'll take enhanced throw. Reduces the amount of times you have to tap circle to throw an enemy. Okay. Let us continue. Use Saito's key card. Yep, be very, very careful. I have a plant. I'm not afraid to use it. It doesn't move, so it probably really hurts if it hits you. Saejima says, finally here. We throw our plant away. And he steps into the warden's office. Saejima asks, you're not done yet? What gives? Hamazaki says, none of this proves a damn thing. I need hard evidence. Saejima says, damn it. There's more prison guards rock up. Prison guards say, stop right there. This is as far as you go. Eat my plant. Oh. Saejima says, whew. Sorry, but I ain't getting caught. Not today. Hamazaki asks, you alright? What on earth are you wearing? It looks like 20 kilos of snort. Okay, never mind. No, not gonna ask. Hamazaki asks, you alright? Saejima says, no problems here. How about you? Hamazaki says, I've got everything I need. Let's roll. Saejima says, about time. Now we need to escape. Hamazaki says, we're going to need to pick up the grappling hook before we start scaling the guard tower. Come on, the roof will take us out to the yard. Saejima says, gotcha. I guess we will upgrade. What I am going to take is combo speed boost. We got a toughness double Z, or ZZ, or I'm asleep, I guess. Hamazaki says, sniper now that we're out on the rooftops. Why should you not have thought that would be a possibility? Hamazaki says, that's going to be a problem. I'm going to sneak behind and take him out. You keep him nice and distracted, and don't stand still. As long as you keep moving, he won't catch you. Well, sure, but you're not the one with flashing health. And how are we going to know when you've got him? I'm going to assume he won't blow up. maybe he explodes in a puff of cloud and little bunnies hop away, like in Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, it could happen. Gee, you're taking your sweet time, aren't you, Hamazaki? Yawn? Could we not have just drugged the sniper's food and put him to sleep before we did this? Like, give him like a delayed sleeping pill so he'd fall asleep about 1 and not wake up? I mean, if you can smuggle cigarettes in, you can smuggle a sleeping pill in. What else is an anal cavity for? One must ask. I'm sure it won't affect the taste of the pill. After all, you wouldn't be able to, It doesn't seem to affect the cigarettes, so I'm not sure why it would affect the taste of the sleeping pill. Have you got him yet, sir? You're taking your time, are you? Really? Oh, there's the rusted door. And he doesn't... Our sniper friend hasn't twigged that this is a ruse. Okay. I mean, it is nice music, but it's sort of wasted. Here, at least. I mean, they could have a lullaby on. Da, 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 da. Who didn't see that coming? Yeah, we're gonna need, Hamazaki says, we're gonna need to pick up the grappling hook before we start scaling the yard tower. Come on, the roof will take us out to the yard. Saejima says, gotcha. Okay. Toughness ZZ, we'll do that so we won't die as quickly. Make sure we have combo speed boost ready. And out we go. Hamasaki says sniper! Yes, we know there's a sniper over there, and you take forever and a day to get over there, so... Hamasaki says, that's going to be a problem. I'm going to sneak behind to take him out. You keep him nice and distracted and don't stand still. As long as you keep moving, he won't catch you. Yeah. What the? Oh, it's a smoke bomb. Okay. No, I didn't get shot from the front. Oh, we've got stamina and X. Ugh. It's unfortunate. Hamasaki shouts for some reason, Saejima. Keep going, I'll catch up with you soon. Are you still alive? That is a bright AI. Anyway. Yes, upgrade abilities before Going to do Essence of Slamming. A brutal attack where you slam an enemy down upon a downed enemy. Grab enemy and press triangle near a downed enemy. Also going to take Might Grab. Strengthens your grip to the max. To the max. So that you can grab even the biggest of enemies. Circle near an enemy. Careful, I have a steel drum. Not afraid to use it. Can't go through a door with it though, apparently. Hamazaki shouts, Saejima! Sorry to keep you waiting. People are going to notice that you've got that 20 kilos of snort stashed right there. Just saying. Hamazaki says, come on, let's move. We're getting close. We've got a stamina XX. Which makes me feel at home, because I'm from Queensland, and we call our beer 4X because we can't spell beer. Prison guard shouts, hey, I need backup over here, I found the prisoners. Prison guards shout, we can't let them get away. Oh, gee, that's a bit of running. Hamazaki says, holy hell, that's a lot of guys. We're almost to the yard though. Can't let them stop us now. Saejima says, gotcha, let's rock these fools. I pitied a fool. Yep, that probably hurt him just a bit. How did you get up? How did you get through that entire battle without getting hit once? That's both exceptionally good for you and also terrible for you. Because it means you might have to take a pay cut. Especially as there's cameras up there that saw you. Careful, I'm Squall. I have a gun blade. So this leads nowhere. Gee, that bounces on. Apparently that leads nowhere. And neither does that door. So, where are we going? Follow the pink thing. Which has disappeared. It's not disappeared. Oh, perhaps the door that says exit might be the way to go? Maybe? There we go. We're outside. Hamazaki says, just gotta grab that grappling hook now.
先行け。どうした？なんで俺を先に？
もともとこの脱獄はあんたが計画したもんや。そやからあんたが先に行かんとあかん。あんたが生き残らんかったら俺にとってこの計画はパーや。
何言ってんだお前。
俺はもう何も失敗しとうない。絶対に後悔しとうないんや。それにあんたは嫌なやつかもしれん。せやけど俺を裏切らんかった。俺はそれだけで十分や。
お前やっぱりまだ25年前のこと。
ええから早せ。刑務官が来てまうぞ。
冴島！冴島！早くしろ！冴島！何してんだ！早く！
あんた先行け。
あ？何言ってんだ！
俺はあいつらを足止めしとく。あんたは先に海に飛び込んで逃げろや。
冴島。
はよせ。
How amazing was it that that chain is exactly the length of the tower? Anyway. That couldn't have been on side talk, but anyway. Okay, what abilities can we get now to dashing tackle. Tackle executed while running. Press triangle while running. We'll also get enhanced escapes. Escape from an enemy hold-off. An enemy hold faster by enhancing your physical strength. Repeatedly tap X when grabbed. White Tiger Spirit. Taunt enemies with the spirit of the White Tiger to boost morale and increase your hit gauge. R2 while facing a nearby enemy. Not sure why. Come on, sir. Stop moonwalking all over the place. Do we have stamina X? Save those for now. Oh, bugger off. Oh, is that how it's going to be, sir? I think I figured out his pattern, sort of. Yep. Go me!
あんたあんたなんで
なんかよ、後味悪いじゃねえか。あのまま行ったんじゃ。それによ、お前が二人目だったんだ。
あ
俺のこと信じてくれたのがよ。今度はお前の番だ。ここまで来れば大丈夫だ。あとは溺れ死ぬ前に陸地に上がれるかどうかが問題だ。お前には時間がない。先に行け。
そやけど俺は
お前は死刑囚だ。脱獄したら真っ先に殺に追われるのはお前だ。
あんた
それに俺には切り札がある。
さっき所長室で探してたやつのことか。
ああ、これさえありゃ俺はまだ這い上がれる。佐伯！
ほなな兄弟
兄弟？
ああ形はどうあれ俺とあんたは同じ罪を犯した仲間兄弟や。
冴島。冴島、冴島、こっから無事出てやるべきことがあったら二人で組んでやり直そうぜ。俺とお前が組めば最強だ。東上界、いや日本の頂点だって夢じゃねえな。どうだ、いい話だろ。
浜崎
だからお前はここから
浜崎
逃がさねえぞこの野郎。
浜崎
さあ冴島、桐生だ。こっから出たら桐生って男のとこへ行け。
何やと何言うとるんじゃおい。
そいつは沖縄にいる。
その男を頼れ。桐生だぞ。いいな。
浜崎、浜崎、おい。
何すんだ。離せよ。おい。おい。やめろ。おい。やめろ。
浜崎、浜崎。くそ。
And that looks to be the perfect place to end the episode. So, if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you in the next episode for whatever cutscenes happen to be after this.